This has major implications on the Rams season as we are talking about position battles to look out for ahead of the Rams matchup versus the Dallas Cowboys on Saturday. We are also discussing a score prediction for that game tonight, all on today's episode of the Rams Digest. I'm your host, Joshua Giron. Remember, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, press that subscribe button now, as roughly 65.2% of you guys are watching the videos, but you're still not pressing that subscribe button. All I'm saying is if you're already watching, might as well press that subscribe button so you don't miss any daily Rams content here at the Rams Digest. Shout out to everybody who gave us appreciation and thanks or congratulations for the 4,000 subscriber mark. We're really happy to finally hit that mark, but pushing on to the 5,000 subscriber mark as we are reaching bigger and better goals ahead of the regular season, of course, right? First things first, though, when we're talking about the Rams, I do want to sit and talk initially about position battles and what we should be looking out for in terms of who's battling for what at what position. I know Joshua Feinherz yesterday on his video discussed certain players to look out for at different levels. You know, he was talking about the safety to look out for, a linebacker to look out for, a D lineman to look out for. But ultimately, there are some real battles going on with the Rams in terms of their position groups, some guys fighting for their roster spots. Those are really intriguing to look out for in the preseason. Now, is it really going to have certain positions going to have more implications than others? Of course, but ultimately it is interesting to see these battles happen. And if you're talking about the third string, fourth, fifth, sixth string receiver, you're talking about the third, fourth string quarterback, maybe not, but we're also discussing certain positions that really are important to the Rams and what's going to happen with them during the regular season. Here are 4 position fights about to take center stage in first preseason test. This comes to us from Brett Studer of Ramblin' Fan. And like I said, just very intriguing to sit and talk about the position groups that are really more important to kind of take a look at it and what really has true implications on what the Rams could do this season. If Kyren Williams goes down, is it Blake Corum or is it Jarquez Hunter, right? If Alaric Jackson can't play at left tackle, who is your left tackle? Who are we seeing battle to be that backup left tackle behind the backup even, right? That's also key here because we don't know how long Alaric Jackson's going to miss. And those are different position groups that I think that we can kind of really take a look at and kind of dive into to see what's going on those fronts. So first one, not really as key here, but still interesting to watch. Which wide receiver earns a roster spot? We know Davante Adams is safe. We know Puka Nacua is safe. And maybe, probably, after a $10 million contract, Tutu Atwell is probably safe being on the roster. Is he the fourth receiver, third receiver? Who knows? But he's safe being on the roster for sure. Probably not even going to play today, right? But when you're looking at the other other players at that position, I should say, who is going to have a good rapport with, Stetson Bennett, right? Who is going to be connecting well with the third string quarterback, with Jimmy G, right? Obviously, we know Jimmy G and Davante Adams have that connection. They've had it so far in preseason. But is it, going to be Britton Covey also on the special teams? Is it Smith? I mean, who is it that's going to fill these last few receiver spots? I think that is definitely key here. We're going to watch special teams for the receivers. We're going to watch to see who has a good relationship with Stetson Bennett. Is it Kanata Mumfield? Right, those are kind of keys I think we're going to look out for when it comes down to this preseason matchup. Again, is it the end-all, be-all? Is this the game that's going to be their kind of final tryout? No, we have a couple more preseason games to look at, but it is going to be intriguing to see who kind of fills out the final couple spots at the receiver position. You want Jordan Whittington to be part of that group as well. Kanata Mumfield, Britton Covey, is he going to be that special teamer? That's kind of what I'm kind of keeping in my eye on in tonight's matchup versus the Cowboys. Moving on from that, a little more important here, the offensive line, right? Backup left tackle DJ Humphries, swing tackle Warren McClendon. They're both kind of expected to sit out of this game, at least at this moment in time. So are we really, who's going to be that, depth piece on the offensive line? The Rams really do need depth on the O-line. On the right tackle spot, we're knowing Rob Havenstein to have some injury concerns in the past. Could be his last season. What's it looking like behind him? Also, Alaric Jackson now on the left side. What is it going to be? Is DJ Humphries going to be ready to roll? He didn't really have the best performance last year in Arizona. So what is he going to look like? Is Warren McClendon ready to take over and kind of fill that role? And who's going to kind of fill out the end of the offensive line depth chart, right? Who's going to kind of help us out? Is it going to be David Quessenberry, right? Is it going to be offensive tackle A.J. Akuri? And those are kind of the key names here we're kind of looking at to see what is going on with the offensive line, who is ready to step in and step up for the Rams in terms of the backups of the offensive line. Going to be very intriguing to see how they protect Jimmy G, how they protect Stetson Bennett, guys like that. The obviously, bottom end quarterbacks. What are they really going to look like throughout this game? That's kind of how does the O-line hold up is really going to be an important key here, and it's also going to be important for the run game, right? And Blake Corum and Jarquez Hunter are very obviously, which we'll talk about right now in a second, very obviously those guys are in that position battle. Sorry, I'm trying to pull it up here. Those guys are in the position battle, right? When we're talking about the running back group, Kyren Williams is obviously your starting running back. He just got paid. So what does it look like behind him? Is it Blake Corum? Is it Jarquez Hunter? Jordan Waters? Are we talking about Ronnie Rivers? There's so many guys on this roster that could potentially fill that kind of backup running back spot. A lot of people expected it to be Blake Corum, and like Joshua Feinherr said yesterday, we all kind of expected Blake Corum to maybe be solidified as the backup running back. A lot of people saying, don't even pay Kyren Williams. I think Blake Corum can take over that role, and Jarquez Hunter can be his backup. But now you paid Kyren Williams, so you know he's your starter for a few years. Is it Blake Corum? Is it Jarquez Hunter? We know Sean McVay was very excited to get Jarquez Hunter. What is it going to look like in this preseason matchup? How does the O-line hold up and block for these guys? Is it going to be fair to see them actually compete against this Dallas Cowboys defensive line? Is the Cowboys defensive line, especially when it comes down to their backups, is it even going to be a fair test, right? Can you really even say whether or not running all over the field against a bad Cowboys run defense, typically the last few years, is that even going to be a thing to really be able to fairly judge who the running back should be the backup running back should be this upcoming season? That's a very key kind of note and battle to watch. I think that's definitely one of the key ones. Blake Corum, Jarquez Hunter, and the rest of the gang to see who's getting those final running back spots. Then we're also talking about, as I keep messing up these screenshots, how many tight ends will the Rams carry in 2024? We know Terrence Ferguson's not playing. He's been dealing with an injury. He's going to be out. So who's going to step up? Who is going to fight for a roster spot today? We are assuming Terrence Ferguson is going to be that backup second string tight end when he's healthy. He's not healthy right now. Definitely concerning. He's not getting those reps. We're not able to see the two tight end sets. Maybe we will see that today, but we're not seeing how the Rams are going to use Terrence Ferguson alongside a Tyler Higbee or other guys in the room. So that is key there. Are they going to try out those two tight end kind of offensive schemes throughout the game tonight? That's going to be very intriguing to keep an eye on and watch. But that position battle for who kind of fills out that roster spot, the Rams could keep four tight ends. Will they? That's kind of the concern and question mark, I think, that a lot of Rams fans are going to have, and something to keep an eye on for sure during this preseason matchup. Moving on from that, we are talking about a score prediction for tonight's game. What do we think the final score is going to be? I know Joshua Feinherr threw one out yesterday. I think he had 27-17 for the Rams taking that game. Very intriguing guess there. Last year's preseason game, I think it finished, 13-12 on a buzzer beater, Stetson Bennett touchdown throw. Very intriguing game last year for sure when it came down to the Rams and the Cowboys. So is that going to be the same case this time around? Cowboys versus Rams final score prediction. This comes to us from Sports Illustrated's Ian McMillan. What is it going to look like tonight? Give your record or score predictions down below in the comments section. Let us know what you think the final score will be for tonight's game. I'm expecting it to be pretty low scoring, but you guys let me know how you guys feel about it. When we're talking about who's favored, I can pull this up here on the side, actually. I don't have a screenshot ready to show you guys, but there are some sports books out there, of course, taking bets on this preseason game. Cowboys versus Rams, the odds, the spreads, the totals. The spread for this game is 1.5. They are favoring the Dallas Cowboys to win by 1.5, so basically a field goal, if you will, 2 points. The Cowboys are expected to win this game. Money line, if you're betting, it's going to be Cowboys minus 125. And then you're looking at the total here for the game. They're saying the over is, I think actually the under is favored here, under 33.5 points total for tonight's game. We'll have to see what the final score ends up being. I think it's going to probably be under the 33.5 points mark. You guys let me know how you guys feel about that. And here is the Sports Illustrated final score prediction, which I'm a little more aligned with. If I'm going to fade the Cowboys because of my lack of faith in their backup quarterbacks, that's also going to lead me to back the under. The depth the Rams have added on the defensive side of the football should also aid this in being a low-scoring affair. Final score prediction, Rams 16, Cowboys 9. I'm not sure the Cowboys have as much depth as the Rams do in terms of offense or defense, really, honestly. The Rams are pretty deep on both sides of the football. They do a really good job of filling out their roster, I think, with guys who are competing for those roster spots like we just talked about, but also guys who are just generally talented. The Rams are pretty good at drafting and finding good quality players on the back end. So Cowboys, could be a little bit rough on defense, I think. Could give up some points to the Rams. I can see the Rams scoring a solid 16 points tonight, and then the Cowboys, not really having the most in terms of backup offensive pieces and weapons. I can see the Cowboys scoring under 10 points tonight. So 16-9, I would say 17-10, just to keep it more kind of even numbers. 17-10, my final score prediction for the Rams versus the Cowboys tonight. Again, give your score predictions down below in the comment section. I'm sorry if I said record prediction again. I feel like I've been saying that all day, but score prediction, give them down below in the comment section so we can give your guesses, see who's right, see who gets the closest to the correct answer. Moving on from that, last but not least, my favorite part of the episode, Trivia of the Day, where I ask a trivia question. You give your trivia guesses down below in the comment section. Whether you're right or whether you're wrong, we give you a shout out on the next episode that I'm on here at the Rams Digest. For those of you who missed last episode's Trivia of the Day, this was a question we posed to everyone. Who holds the NFL record for most safeties recorded in a single season? A few of you guys did play along with this Trivia of the Day. The multiple choice options for anyone curious who may have missed it, I'll pull them up for you right now in 2 seconds. The multiple choice options for you guys were A, Jared Allen, B, Doug English, C, Ted Hendricks, or D, Justin Houston. Who holds the NFL record for most safeties recorded in a single season? These were the people who played along with last episode's Trivia of the Day. Again, always appreciate you guys for always playing along. MM's Jr. says, hey Josh, I wanted to say congratulations first and foremost on 4,000. Appreciate you, MM's Jr. And in regards to the Trivia of the Day, last one is not that I was not interested. It's just that I didn't have a clue, and I knew that I would get it wrong. I love to win, but I hate to lose more. Appreciate the competitiveness on the Trivia of the Day. MM's Jr. He says, I love to win for this Trivia of the Day. My guess is A, Jared Allen. Did I say Jared Allen? I'm sorry, it's not Jared Allen. It's is it Jared Allen? Let me make sure. Yes, Jared Allen. A was his guess. We had Thomas saying, I really hope these injuries are indeed minor. Agreed. And for the trivia, I'm going to say Jared Allen. Juan says a couple bad words here. Then he says another guy dropping. I know. I wish the starters could just be healthy and wrapped in bubble wrap, but at the same time, you do want some guys to get some reps for sure in the preseason to kind of knock some rust off. We'll see what happens with this preseason game tonight. On the trivia, I'm going to say Jared Allen. Go Rams. Appreciate you, Juan. Glider says congrats on the 4K subscribers. Thank you, Juan. Thank you, Glider. He says Jared Allen is his guess. The Roger Will again also says congrats on the 4K. Appreciate you guys all for saying that. I'll say Jay Allen. Also, Mike Lansford from the Rams was a barefoot kicker in the 80s. Thank you for that interesting trivia point there. I didn't know we had multiple barefoot kickers back in the 80s. I don't know why that was a thing, but I think it's pretty funny. Keep up the solid content, good sir. Appreciate you, the real J. Will. And then Rams House says Justin Houston. So pretty much 90% of you guys said Jared Allen. And the correct answer was A, Jared Allen. Shout out to all of you guys, MM's Jr., Thomas, Juan, Glider, and the real J. Will for all guessing with Jared Allen, because that was the correct answer. And I will pull up to see. I think they might have a little fun fact on that trivia as well. Jared Allen, 4 safeties in 2011. That was the NFL record. Shout out to everybody who played along, whether you got it right or whether you got it wrong. But special shout out to everybody who did get it correct. It was A, Jared Allen. Appreciate all of you guys for playing along. If you missed this trivia of the day and you're like, hey, that was easy, I can get that one next time, play along with today's trivia of the day by just commenting your guess to this trivia question here. Which quarterback threw a touchdown pass to himself in a playoff game? That is kind of the key factor there. Which quarterback threw a touchdown to himself in a playoff game? Here are your multiple choice options. Is it A, Patrick Mahomes? Is it B, Marcus Mariota? Is it C, Brad Johnson? Or is it D, David Gerard? Which quarterback threw a touchdown pass to himself in a playoff game? Is it A, Patrick Mahomes, B, Marcus Mariota, C, Brad Johnson, or D, David Gerard? Give your guesses down below in the comment section. Whether you're right or whether you're wrong, we give you a shout out on the next episode that I'm on here at the Rams Digest. Again, appreciate all of you guys for the 4,000 subscribers, trying to get to 5K. So if you're not subscribed, please do me a favor and press that subscribe button before you go. Other than that, that's going to do it for me on today's episode of the Rams Digest. Go Rams tonight versus the Cowboys. Give those score predictions down below. Hope you guys enjoy watching the game. And football's back, baby. We're ready to have football every single week for the next however many weeks it is. I know it's going to be a bunch of time to watch football the next few months. Definitely excited to get it started. Other than that, that's going to do it for me. I'm your host, Joshua Giron, and I'm out.